Why, hello, everybody. Welcome to the season finale of Tales of Diademia. This is not the crew that we started out with. Oh, joy, joy. A quick recap. Actually, where did we start? Did we start at the top of the ship the last? Y'all had just made it on the ship that you confiscated from the Triperian Empire, if I believe. From there, you headed, I guess, east to try and make it back to Bastion's Keep, which was apparently overtaken by the Triperian Empire. When you arrived and got in that area, the clouds were covered in like ominous drizzle. That doesn't
Purple
sound
lightning.
ominous. Ominous lightning. Oh yeah, there was lightning shooting down into the center of it. Um, Learning the firing capabilities of the ship, short-lived. Uh, you proceeded to attack as best you could. You received a telepathic intrusion into your minds from someone apparently within that fortress, and you all were soon attacked by these, I believe, small orbs that
Fired out of
unleashed
the
like,
Nautilus.
yeah. Uh, and then a what's it called? The a mind flayer ship, a lithid. That's the word I couldn't think of. A mind flayer ship came and proceeded to also attack you. So y'all were banking and also attacking and also getting infiltrated. It was a fun time. And as mind flayers started to appear on the ship, you were given the orders to, I guess, make it to the bridge, and then ultimately, uh, Calamar was able to open a portal to teleport everyone to safety. No, it was Cutlass. Cutlass coming in clutch. Cutlass opened a portal and teleported everyone to safety. But in the process, you all lost Dargo, sad times. And you arrived in kind of a foresty area, and you saw a temple off in the distance. You made your way there, and you came across the most ominous, nefarious, Asmodeus person who quickly proceeded to make a pact with many of the party members.
I wouldn't say
Except for
quickly.
Cutlass.
Drug out a little bit.
I mean, yeah, he didn't like immediately just offer it up, but it came around one way or another. But the more nefarious portion of it was the fact that he was informing them that they needed to acquire an item for him so that he can seize control when the world is destroyed, which is new news to everybody. And them feeling that, giving him the item wouldn't be in their best interest, but also possibly having a hand in shaping their future that may come to fruition of whatever is about to happen might not be the worst idea they came up with in the past 3 days. So as soon as that happened, Bombast uh, put his blood in the goblet. Carcel and also Bastin Alsatian. He gave up some of his blood. So between the three of you, Calamar was able to open up a portal and lead you all into this hellish dimension, to which, after a slight convincing, not convincing, probably mind already made up, but Asmodeus did suggest that Cutlass still go with the party members because they might not have a high chance of coming back otherwise. To which he ended up going into the portal as well. And when they arrived, Calamar was chained bound to the realm, and the rest of you walked off into the ominous, don't really know what time of day it is, off into the landscape. you walk. That's where we're opening it up now. So some of the ground laying things of what's happening, if you all don't know, the sky is like this reddish hued clouds everywhere. Every once in a while, you'll see this like huge fireball kind of like shoot down from different parts of the sky and just like lay waste to anything it comes in contact with, which, you know, environmental hazards, who needs them?
It's a hellscape, you know. It's fine. It's fine. This is
There
fine.
is rivers, but it seems like it's pools of blood, and there's like volcanoes off in the mountainous regions. It's hot, you know. If you like hot, it's fine. If you don't, I'm sorry. What would you all like to do? There is a city like miles and miles ahead, but there's obviously new terrain to explore. So,
What like season were we in? Like,
uh, I
back in the normal.
think into winter, early spring. I'm not sure though. They've
That's
been in
probably
so
a
many
little-
places that aren't actually the correct area.
Okay. Can we like discern a distinct path that we're supposed to be going, or is it just kind of like you dropped in here and now you got to figure your shit out?
Well, there's kind of a path, but it's like littered with bones of you're not quite sure. So there's obviously like wildlife creatures, demons in the background doing their demon things. There does seem to be some type of barrier of sorts, however, that kind of like leads you to stay on this path. And perception checks just to start things out.
27.
Okay.
27.
Okay.
16.
Nice. Between those, you all see this like imp like creature, Carcel, you notice the last out of all of them. And it like runs up like kind of towards all of you, but in that same field like area, and it hits that barrier that's kind of like there and not there, and just like engulfs into flames and just burns to a crisp.
We probably shouldn't touch that.
Yeah. Okay.
Good observation.
Guess we're going this way.
Yeah, Cullis will start walking down the preordained path.
I let the big people lead.
Oh my goodness. As y'all are walking, is there anything you all want to do, discuss? Because it's just the four of you with Baston as well.
I don't believe any of you are still injured from our earlier battles, are you?
I have received no damage.
Yeah, because we haven't had a rest or anything, right?
Yeah, not since the combat on the ship.
I know I did some healing before we met the devil.
I'm still hurting a bit, but
Let me see what I can do.
Likewise. But I'm not going to complain about it.
Carcel takes 16. And Bombastic 20.
And how are you using magic in this particular case?
I am casting Cure Wounds.
Okay.
At
Make
least I'm
a-
attempting to, if I'm able to here.
Make a Arcana check as you do it.
E21.
Okay. You notice as you cast it, normally there's like a greenish hue tint to everything. In this particular case, when you cast it, it's red, and there's like flickers of kind of like iridescent flames in each of the portions that it's healing. The wounds still heal. You're just not sure how it's different here as opposed to using cure wounds in a normal non-hellish world.
Interesting. This will require further study.
They become addicted to it. Give me some of that cure wounds, bruh.
Does this mean we're demons now?
Oh no.
You three might be.
Hope not.
I don't feel any different, so if that's the case, they can have it back.
On that
Quite
note,
sure how it's working.
Carcel and Bombas make a intelligence save with advantage.
Oh, same roll both times. Good.
Oh, nice.
It's a 20.
24.
Oops, sorry. Opening stuff up. Okay. You, I guess technically 3. Let me also roll one for. Yeah, that's high enough. Yeah, the first one was good. You 3, sans Cutlass, hear in your minds, well, well, how are you enjoying the scenery?
Can't you go 10 minutes without leaving us alone?
I just want to make sure you are all not getting lost, sticking to the
little
path.
It's a little impossible to not stick to the path. And there is a deadly barrier on either side of the path. So essentially you're just making sure we didn't kill ourselves trying to get away from the path?
Yes, it would be quite unfortunate if you killed yourselves before actual danger arrived. But yes, that's the barrier of souls. It keeps a little bit more heavy creatures from running amok.
I'm hoping it keeps them on the other side of it then.
Hopefully.
It's
What
comforting.
kind of heavy creatures?
Many kinds. The barrier grows stronger for each soul it collects. It would take a very dangerous creature, let's put it that way, to breach it in any sort.
Oh, good.
So does
if
that mean
something
you can
comes
breach
through
it?
that, y'all are fucking dead. Tarask just...
Everyone gets one.
Bonus demon Tarask.
Oh, God damn it. Where's that expeditious retreat again?
When you all arrive, you'll have to find a way into the city. They don't foster well to refugees.
So we can't use the door?
You can try, but you most likely will not get in by conventional means.
This little adventure just gets better and better.
Yes, it does. But I shall not bother you with the layman's. Enjoy your stay there. and he kind of like fades. You feel that it was almost like a heavy pressure presence in your mind, which is weird. Like if a mind had weight. But it like lifts, and that was not pleasant in the slightest.
Cullis just keeps walking unaware of this conversation.
Doody. We're like the Wizard of Oz, and we got like the lion with Carcel. We Cutlass is the Tin Man. I'll make Bombast Toto. Yeah. He's like, no, I wanted pretty shoes.
Yeah, just keep plowing ahead here
Okay.
into
If
that city.
I'll catch up to Cutlass.
as you get closer to the city, you can still see that it's maybe 3 or so miles away, but you start to come down and there's a large crowd of people, demons, all sorts of different races mixed in, but they're all just like either setting up camps as best they can or trying to like peddle their wares, but it seems like they're conjugated there more or less because they don't really have any other place that they can go, and the city isn't really letting people in, so there are a lot of people around now.
Is it only a variety of demon fiendish races, or are there any like other humans or elves or actual people from the prime plane here?
Make a nature check. Mix it up a bit.
13.
Okay. You're able to see that there's like some older humans, ones that like have like a worse for wear kind of demeanor about themselves. Most of them human that you do come across are on the frail side. But for the most part, it seems like the demons and like the tieflings and those types of creatures are more prevalent and like healthy looking when you look at them.
Gotcha.
A goblin like walks up to you, Carcel. Hey, you're new here. New face.
Hello, yes.
He's like
I guess.
3.5 feet tall.
Can I help you?
Can I help you?
I don't know.
What brings you here? Brings you to the pits of sorrow, as we like to call them.
Some business.
Ooh, business? Like coin making business or something else?
Listen, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I don't have a clue who you are, and I don't know why you think I would just start spilling out all these details within 5 seconds of meeting you.
Oh, well, apologies.
Especially in a hellish landscape such as this. Trust will be hard gained, my friend.
Hard gained. You're a tough cat to crack. My name's
That doesn't like to
Farvor.
be cracked.
Vor. Totally not writing that down. I'm in the business of giving out favors.
Isn't that the business of hell itself?
Depends on who you talk to.
Do you require entry into the city?
Look around, you and everybody else. It's not really that easy to get into the city, to be fair.
How difficult is it to get into the city? What steps must be accomplished?
Basically, the city only gains what they think will benefit it. That being said, there's not a lot of things that are special about an individual, let alone something that the city finds of interest. However, they do send out entrepreneurs? I don't know. People as representatives of them to kind of scour the city and or everyone here and see if there's anyone that like catches their eye.
Is that what you were doing?
Oh, no. My business is much more involving these people here because, obviously, they have more to lose. Not that you have anything to lose, my dear. Like, no, we could be totes friends. I'm just saying.
Are there other ways into the city?
None legal. I mean, that won't stop you. But there are. I'm not going to say there aren't. It's just dangerous.
We are dangerous people.
He, like, looks at the four of you. Yes, terrifying, I'm sure. That next call won't be for another couple of hours. Are you all just gonna browse around, see what's happening before you can see if you can get into the city by legal means?
Cullis will look at Carcel and Bombast. Clearly unsure.
Carcel's kind of questioning too. Like, I don't know.
Let's hang out. What can go wrong? Oh, and I got an idea. Just put me on your shoulders.
Which one? Literally everybody else in the party is like tall.
I was talking to Cutlass.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Cullis will pick him up and put him on his shoulders.
Now we're more noticeable.
Oh, good.
As you do that, Bumpass, you look around, there's like 6 other demon imps on other people's shoulders.
Stacks, remind me, what's the name of the place that we're looking for again? That's supposed to be where the trials are to get the object that we're looking for. I remember Asmodeus gave us a name, I just don't remember what it was.
I don't know if I wrote that down. Did I forget to write it down? While I consult my thesis real quick. I think I probably took it from... There we go. This one. We'll go with... I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. For sake of brevity, since I don't remember what the actual city name is, I'll say when you say it, it like translates to something else here, or people know it as something else here that's more recognizable. Whenever like you choose to.
Well, I'll say that name. I'll look directly at the goblin, and I'll say,
We are looking for insert location.
Are you talking about Belarus?
If that is your word for it, yes.
Well, that's definitely in a portion inside the city. You just have to make it inside the city. But the city gates itself is... maybe a couple of more miles. And he kind of like points off in the direction that's like diagonal from where you are. That's probably where you need to try and head if you want to make entry into the
Have
main
you been in
area.
there before?
In the city? Loads of times. Do I get to stay? Not really.
What type of area is Belarus?
Much nicer than anything you'll find out here. Not really saying much, but people kind of stick to themselves. You know, everyone has their own purpose in there. Once you run out of purpose, it's back out here. So, yeah.
So that's the gate that we want to go to if we want to seek entry?
Yes, or at least try to seek entry. Now, if you want to get in any other way, it's definitely not in that direction. I'll put it that way.
We will come back if that way does not work.
Front door it is.
Cullis will reach into his pocket, and he'll pull out 2 gold pieces and hand it to the goblin.
What is this?
You gave us information. I am paying for it.
With what? Shiny pieces of metal?
Do you not accept gold as currency?
Sure. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna use it on, but
Good luck.
He'll leave.
Carcel will ask after seeing this, is there some other form of currency you guys use here?
yes, of course, something far more useful. And he kind of like bites on a piece of the metal. It's blood, obviously.
Oh.
Oh no.
I am fucked. I am not a rich man in hell.
And as a blood hunter, like, I use that quite a bit.
It's like Metro. Metro? Is that the one where they use bullets as also their currency? So you have to choose between like shooting down creatures or like buying better weaponry?
I think it's Metro, yeah.
Carcel's like, fuck.
And I will never be a rich man.
But I start slowly just like bottling it.
Right before long rest, get down to like 1 HP and just So you all are walking through. There's sights to be had. You first come across what you think to be like a woman with 2 babies on her shoulder, and then like you round the corner and you realize the babies are like infused on her, and there's like more babies like hanging out and like waving and doing other tricks and stuff. And then there's like a six-eyed goat, that's just like walking through the crowd.
He's just
Demons, tieflings, they're all haggling, talking stuff. You see people like spilling blood, trying to like, no, my blood's good. Like it's a whole shit show of a mess that for people that are culture shocked easily would be more or less culture shocked at everything that they're seeing and saying.
I wonder if the blood of demons is the lowest form of their currency, as is the most populous here.
Common blood.
Bombast, your blood must be a high commodity in this area.
Let's get that.
Say that so loud. Keep moving. Keep moving.
Cullis continues to march towards.
Clearly distracted, Carcel will look up. Oh, there should chase off after him.
You seem at unease a bit here.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this.
That's fair. I mean, I don't think any of us knew upon waking up today that we would be accepting a blood pact with a very powerful god and end up on a fetch quest of a mission.
Don't want to hand over this item, but I don't know how we're going to get around that. And that's what I'm worried about.
I feel like he's watching us even though he's not here presently.
Yeah, well, I think he already knows my opinion on the matter anyway. I think I made that pretty clear before.
Well, if any other options present themselves, we'll look into them and hopefully choose a better option.
Indeed. That's what I'm hopeful for.
You believe that you all will be forced to comply to the bargain that you struck?
By contract stance, I believe there's ways that he could possibly have us forfeit the item.
I would remind you that I'm not bound by such contracts.
Ah, you are our... Sorry, I was going to say scapegoat. I think it's because I saw that goat shortly back. You are our wild card, Cutlass.
I don't see what's so bad.
About giving the most well-known devil an object that can shatter realities?
Well, yeah, but he has to be inclined to do so. Plus, you know, I was kind of done with that world. It's time to find a new one.
Bombast,
Do
where do
you
your
want him
allegiances
shaping the next
lie?
world?
No, but if he shows up, I can go find another one.
That easy, huh?
It's like...
Well, if it was that easy, I would have already done it, obviously.
It's like Rocket's explanation in Guardians of the Galaxy, where he's like, "We'll just move to a different part of the place." He's like, "You're a fool! It's all part of the same area."
I'm not certain that I would want to suffer that upon others. there's enough cruelty in the world that exists currently without reshaping it into an even crueler one.
I agree.
Some people pay good money to be mistreated. He's just gonna keep quiet.
Willis goes into deep thought about that.
Oh no. As
He
you
sees him pondering and just kind of like touches him on his arm. It's best not to think about that. Just...
I thought maybe that was the purpose of this place.
I mean, not wrong per se.
I feel like most of the people in this place probably ended here because they took a bargain that was too good to be true, and they were right. Which is kind of probably why we're here.
It's true. You all struck a bargain, and I struck a bargain with you.
Just hope we make it through it.
As
I'm
you all
87% certain of my survival. I'm not quite so sure of the odds for you all.
Oh no.
I'm not certain of anything anymore.
I'm certain that we need to update your logistics of exactly how well we survive this as well. Perhaps new software.
More data.
As the four of you maneuver through the crowd, seeing more and more startling things, something that catches Bombast's attention, probably because of the height, you see what would appear to be like a snail shell off in the distance, except it's much larger than a normal snail would be. And there's kind of like a group of people around that area that stands out opposed to like just the random everyone doing their own thing type of stuff. It's like they're concentrated in that area.
Yeah, Bombast will lean down, point out the area to Cutlass.
Gullis will look over. Is their style of dress different than the huddled masses that are surrounding the outside of the city? Are they looking like more clean, more put together, like a higher kind of class of people?
They're the group that's like huddled in that area are dressed a bit nicer than just the rab shabs of everything else that people are wearing.
Do you want to visit Bombast?
Yes, I think we should.
I
And I'm gonna
will
cast
pour over.
prestidigitation on everybody so we're cleaner. Now we blend in.
Now that y'all are getting closer, you see that there's maybe a quarter of them are like drows. There's a couple of tieflings, and then the rest of the races are like kind of exotic races. Like there's a few Aarakocra, some young tea, different sprinkle of other races as well. But they're all kind of like dressed nicely for the clothes that they would be wearing, and they're looking at this shell of a snail, and on the front side is what appears to be like a snail, but like a much more demonic version of it here. It's like very sluggishly black in outward appearance, and its eyes kind of like They look kind of demonic, but it's just sitting there, just propped up. And in front of it, off the shell, is this like canopy that like comes out, and inside there is this small creature, which as you look closer looks to be like a kobold, and he's selling wares from inside the shell of this snail, essentially.
Salutations.
Oh, hello, how are you? Would you like to buy something today?
What do you sell?
Oh, what do you need?
Entry into the city.
Okay, I don't sell those, but would you like new garments, new weapons, new attire that is a bit more resilient than what you're wearing? Are you wearing anything?
He is wearing his normal robes,
Okay.
his desert attire.
Or items, maybe. Drinkable sorts, eatable sorts.
I do not require sustenance.
Do you all? Looks at Carcel and Bombas.
Oh, what
A
kind
look of realization hits Bombast as he realizes he doesn't know where to get food. Maybe we should ask him what they take for payment first there, Mr. Cutlass.
Do you accept gold, silver, copper, or do you accept the local currency of blood?
Mostly blood, but depending on the rarity of it, it usually suffices more.
What is the value of these three?
He points at all three of his companions.
Well, human blood is just a speck over demon blood. Humans and tieflings kind of rank in the same area. Tabaxis, those are a bit more rare. And then we have... Is that a gnome?
Affirmative.
And there's like way more eyes on Bombast than Bombast probably is comfortable having on him.
He's slowly shrinking.
His blood's quite rare in these parts.
Could you give us an idea of scale, such as what would one drop of blood acquire versus a quart?
One drop, depending on the rarity, would,
This
and
one's
he translates it into basically human blood would rank for about open up inventory. Human blood would rank like a silver piece per drop, and then Tabaxi blood and those rarer races would be equivalent to a gold piece per drop, and then like the really rare ones that they don't really see in these parts, like gnome blood, would be like a platinum per drop.
Why is blood the currency of this area?
It's the most used consumable, or we can use it a lot in different things, creating more items, enchanting things, ritualistic packs. It really just doesn't matter.
Interesting.
Plus, people often carry blood with them that is not theirs when they are trying to make blood wards. Basically, think of it as a ward, when performed correctly, only allows the person's the creature's blood of that type to come into that kind of circle.
It's a more specialized magic circle then.
Yes.
Interesting. I require nothing from you. Do any of you?
He'll look at the rest of his party.
What kind of weapons do you have?
Oh, what kind of weapons do you need, my dear?
Well, I mostly use swords. Sometimes I use a bow, but
What are you in most need of presently?
do you have any special bows?
Yes.
What does it do? Can you elaborate?
Let me look at my wares real quick. I'll be right back. And he goes around. Weapons.
I'm not a genius, but it probably shoots arrows.
Thank you, Bombast. I had no idea. I appreciate that. I was really curious as to what this did.
Glad I could help.
Glad you cleared that up for me. I'll try to make sure the pointy end isn't facing me.
And is it long or short bows that you use?
I have a longbow currently, but
Okay. So, I have a couple of different options. Some might be in your blood range, some might not be. I have a weapon of certain death. It's a longbow.
of certain death.
Yeah, it's just one that makes it seem like it does more damage. But basically, when you hit a target with a bow strung from this, with an arrow strung from this bow, the target cannot regain hit points until your preceding chance of attack. Also have a vicious longbow, which it just does more damage when you critically attack or wound your target. Then there's the specialty bows, like if you're fighting dragons or corpses, things of that nature.
I see. First one you mentioned, what was it again? Certain
Weapon
death?
of certain death.
How much would it take to get that one?
Well, these all range in the same kind of blood pool. I would take it off your... Well, I would put it into your hands for 150 drops of blood of your type. So basically 150 gold.
So, like a vial. How would you contain it? Do you have a vial that I can?
I could fetch up a vial or 2 or 3. It's a lot of blood, my dear.
Would that be like the equivalency of like 150 points of damage?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh. That seems
Come on,
like,
Carcel.
yeah, I feel like a drop of blood is not going to be like 1 damage.
Well, yeah.
Especially for a blood hunter that is used to doing this a lot.
I do still have some healing available to me, Carcel, to bind your wounds. If you wish to purchase this thing, but it would severely strain my capabilities until I can rest again.
I don't think I need it that much, thanks.
Liz, you're like a big printing press.
To offset that, Carcel, you could use Bombast's blood. That would only be 15.
No. Bombast leads down into cutlass. I will destroy you.
I thought you would appreciate the symmetry of the bath. Understood.
And so it begins. Let them kill each other for their own things.
Thank you for showing us your wares. We must get inside the city now.
Oh, sure. If you ever see any of my slugs, just let me know. We'll sell you anything.
Good to know.
Cutlass will turn and take off.
Carcel, make a perception check with advantage.
Oh, a 20 and a 19, so that's 27.
Okay. You see that there's like a piece of paper kind of like tacked on the side of the snail, and it says specialty items for the coming month. That apparently like hasn't happened yet. And there is something that's the equivalent of an oath bow, and the pricing of it is 1,000 gold pieces. Equivalent blood type, obviously. Carcel's like, I'm gonna bleed myself dry every day until I get this.
This is what water skins are for.
Just like a doohickey back of the mind reminder.
I do have a water skin.
I apologize, Bombast, for offering your blood up before. You gave it away so freely before, I didn't think that you would mind.
I'm the chooser of where my blood goes, or if it gets spilled.
I understand.
And I wasn't kidding. I can destroy you.
I'll go back to the. You said it's a kobold
Yes.
spelling. What would it take to get like some just files from you so I can start making some currency for you?
Well, if you had and he like offers like a silver, you can get this container here of vials.
For how much?
Just a silver for all of them. There's about 10 vials capable of holding
100 drops of blood each.
about maybe 50 of each, 50 gold's worth. That's the other thing. If you put like blood in, does it like dissipate based on like the viscosity of the blood?
I'm guessing they'll have stoppers and stuff.
Yeah. Is this something that you need, Carcel?
Something that caught my eye.
And you'll see Baston like prick his finger again and like offer his blood to the kobold, and then the kobold's like, okay, and he just shuffles over the trays. It is 10 vials, and each vial can hold the equivalents of 50 gold apiece. For brevity's sake, I'll just say any lesser or more gold would take up more or less, depending.
You said it would be 100 or 1,000 for the oath bow?
Yes, that's what the price is for it currently.
Need 2 sets.
She'll like push his hand down and she'll prick her own finger.
He already pricked it! His blood's already dripping! So, there's the other thing, Carcel. You would know that whenever you use your blood right damage, you can, because you don't need to like, you just have to take the damage essentially. So you could do it and then put it into the vials to save the amount of damage that you're taking to also add. Just FYI.
Yeah.
But basically Bastion just did that because his blood's worth less, and rather than figuring out how they do currency translations here,
Give me one tabaxi, I give you 9 human.
Here's 9 human blood.
More or less, I was. Gonna see what else I can get equivalent in return at the same time, but it's all good. I would just need 2 of them, so if you're willing to pay, Baston.
Well, he was offering all 10 for 1 silver.
Yeah, but that would still only be 500 gold worth. Does he have more than one
Wait,
of
what?
those cases?
500. Can I not do math?
50
times
each
10?
vial times 10.
Oh wait, let me make it easy because I don't want to do a lot of crazy stuff. Each vial can hold
100.
100 points of blood. I'm done. I'm done with the whole campaign. Ruin the campaign. The blood vials hold the exact amount that you would need for.
Whatever
Okay.
makes this work.
I take it and kind of slide them into little like slots in my backpack.
Okay.
Thank you, Baston.
Anytime. Well, as long as
And
I have
thank
it
you.
to spare.
Don't worry, I'm not just gonna slit your throat. to
this brings a whole new level to like hobo campaigns. Just I want to cut them
Hate
while
this
they
thing.
sleep.
I don't want to cut these people. Ooh, this guy's just sleeping.
That's the other thing. So
I just
when you
ourselves
kill
to such
creatures,
evil.
you can bleed them and see how much blood you can get. This is so gross. Why did I do this mechanic? Y'all are just carrying around a bunch of blood. It's fine.
Just got buckets that we just carry around.
I don't know why, but I felt like we should have stocked up on vials before we came here. Weird. And now that I'm thinking about it, like as a blood hunter, I'm thinking like maybe I should have just done this before, so like I could just pop one open to use blood rights. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like pre-made blood
But I can still
application.
maintain like full health and just like.
We'll have to figure out like an item that can keep the potency of the blood after it's removed from the body.
Bombast might be able to help with that.
Ooh. Yeah, he'll make you anything if you promise not to like stab him when he's not looking.
Might feel a slight pinch. It's fine.
So you have these small vials. I don't know. They're roughly size. 10 of them. That's how much blood you have in your body. Just 10 of these things. No.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I had 1,000 hit points, great of them. I am invincible.
Continue making
Okay.
our way to the gate.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Okay.
I'll catch up to them after I get done putting them all in the bag.
So as you arrive closer to where Farvor said the gate was, the crowd gets like more and more dense. There's lots more people kind of centered there, and it makes it a little bit more difficult to get through easily. It's kind of like mosh pit crowded, but y'all are all just like bumping your way towards the front, and when you get there, everyone's just kind of like waiting. Just there's a lot of zoned out faces on people. There's some people just like focusing inwardly.
are there
a couple,
guards at this gate?
Make a perception check.
A 21.
Okay. Oddly enough, there's not guards, but you do see a bunch of like mounted statues just kind of lining where guards probably would be posted.
It would be my assumption that those are some sort of animated defense.
And as you look around, every maybe 20 feet, there's another statue posted. And as you look up, every 20 feet, there's like a almost like gargoyle-esque type statue. And then further up, and the city walls, or like the outside walls, seem to go all the way up to the sky. Like you can't even see where the top is. That cuts off the entry point into the top part of the city. But the doors themselves only go up for maybe 15, 20 feet.
I assume they're closed too.
Yeah, they're just like closed, sealed, embroidered, nice looking.
Carlos will just stand there at the front, waiting. Look like his own statue.
How did you get that thing to move? This high elf looking person looks at you, Bombast.
It's easy. Hey, Cutlass, turn around.
Carlos turns around.
Wow. That's very unique. I didn't think of that. I should have thought of that. He starts writing down notes.
Turns back around.
Maybe we should knock.
You don't believe?
You don't believe that will trigger these statues?
I don't know.
Only one way to find it.
All right.
And he will reach up and put Bombast on the ground.
Fuck.
I may be ignorant of many things, but I do not lack common sense, Bombast.
Bombast suddenly doesn't want to go to the door.
No, I'm not going to let a little robot tell me what to do. I'm going to start walking up to the front door.
Okay. So you start heading there. These statues seem to be maybe 10.5 feet tall as you get closer. They're much larger than you would have thought. But they're just mounted at either side of the doors, and in this spot, each door, because there's two, is about 10 feet wide across, and then there's like a statue there and a statue at the other end. But you get
follow
maybe
directly behind Bombast.
10, 15 feet, and they don't do anything.
I'm striding up to the door.
Okay.
As they're doing this, I'm gonna kind of pay attention to the crowd. Like, is anyone taking notice of this happening?
There's a few people that look over at Cutlass and Bombast walking towards the door, but then they go back to like focusing their energy and like making sure their clothes don't have any wrinkles.
So they're really not concerned with it.
No. So you get it right to the door, Bombast. The doors themselves they're very nice. They look sturdy. You're not sure how thick they are going inward, but there is a lot of embossing and kind of like inlays where like golden filigree kind of goes and weaves its way through the entire construction of it, sort of. But it does seem to not have any handles or anything like that, so you can assume it's either automated open or like magically opened or some other way, not like manually.
Can I go up to my 2-foot section of the door or knock on it 3 times?
You wait for a moment. You wait for a few more moments.
Looks like nobody's home, guys. I'm gonna turn around and start.
I'll pick him back up and put him on my shoulders and walk back over to Carcel.
That went well.
It went better than I thought it would.
Honestly, same.
Well, now we know we can try another area to get in.
Do we want to wait for the choosers to come out?
Marcel will look around and see if there's anyone that's not like super focused and like trying to like center themselves or anything, so she wouldn't disturb them. Is there anyone like that around? It's just kind of like there.
There's a person that looks like they're counting something, and then next to them there is just a meekish looking tiefling female that seems to just be waiting, not meditating or doing anything.
I'll kind of like walk up to her and kind kind of try to get her attention. Excuse me. How long does it usually take before they open up? Is there a specific time or anything?
It's anywhere between now and an hour from now.
Oh, okay.
This is your first time?
Yes. Is it that obvious?
Oh, you're not nervous, are you?
A little bit.
Well, if you get selected, I hear that inside's pretty nice.
That's what I'm hoping. What happens to those that don't get selected?
They have to wait till the next day.
Okay. It's just making sure it wasn't like you're not selected, you get murdered kind of thing.
Oh, that only happens on Sundays.
What's today?
Saturday.
Oh. I thought you were gonna say Sunday. I was like, we need to come back tomorrow.
Oh god.
We'll rest for a little bit. We'll come back. Try this. Okay. Thank you for your time. My name's Carcel, by the way.
Oh, mine's Amelie.
Emily, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
And, she'll go back over to the group. Like, I just found out it should be within the next hour or so before they open up. And don't worry, if it was Sunday, we might get murdered if we didn't get chosen, but since today is Saturday, should be good.
Could be good.
This is good.
Yeah, what can go wrong? Let's just hang out.
What's the worst that could happen? And then Carcel will kind of like find a little area and just kind of like sit down, and she'll just fidget with her little ball of yarn.
Okay. Around that time, the doors start to slowly slide open. And what first appears to be like a pool of light, kind of like dissipates a bit as the imagery behind the doors kind of focuses in on everyone. You see a large sort of minotaur figure and a few tieflings, and then off in front of them is a hobgoblin, from what you can tell, that has like a very long sheet of paper and a quill in hand, and they kind of usher forward out of the city doors, and the doors kind of like slowly recede, close behind them. And they make their way forward into where you've noticed that like there's kind of like a circled off area for them to stand in. And they just all four stand there, and you watch as like the hobgoblin starts looking through the crowd, and what first you think he's writing down something, you see that the quill continues to write even if he's like pointing at something and like thinking in his head, and then he'll pick back up the quill and continue writing with it.
Do we make our way over?
That's a neat
Sure.
trick. I'll start. Does the crowd like converge on them at all, or is it just like?
They move a little bit closer, but they make sure that you can see like a kind of like inlaid groove around that circled bevel that kind of like serves that as a slider almost stage point, maybe 5 feet taller than the rest. And they walk up like right to that perimeter around.
I'll walk right up to that perimeter boundary.
I'm gonna sit up as straight as I can on Cutlass's shoulders.
Just picture you kind of like standing up back there.
Could we do something to try to garner their attention?
I don't know.
Yes.
And as you say that, you notice that other people around you, there's a couple of people like dancing together in a very close-knit 5-foot square kind of space, which you didn't think was possible. There's other people like tossing ribbons and other weapons into the air to try and make a big show display, and like catching them and like repurposing them back around their bodies.
We
and everything.
We see them like pointing at people. Do those people like walk somewhere or go somewhere? Do they just disappear? Like, what happens when they like motion at people?
When the hobgoblins like motioning at people, it's more like they might have caught their interest, or in a good or bad way, and then he's making note of it, but nothing's happened to like the people around you from what you can tell.
Are there any commonalities between the people that he's gesturing towards?
Some of them were dressed nicely. Some of them are performing like death-defying maneuvers in a really closed-in space. It's almost like America's Got Talent, except everybody's doing their talent show at the same time. It's a lot going on.
I could display some form of powerful magic if that might garner their attention.
That might.
Who is the most hurt of our companions currently? Even if it's just a little bit, who looks the worst? Or is there anyone in the crowd who is trying one of these death-defying maneuvers and actually hurts themselves really badly?
Okay. Make a... If you're looking for injured...
Yeah.
In the party, you can do a medicine check, and if you're looking for someone that just ate shit, you can do like a perception check.
Yeah, I'm looking for someone who's up here who has hurt themselves really badly.
Okay.
Perception 25.
Sweet. Around that time, you see it looks like a couple, and he like throws the girl up, and someone else's talent thing interjects with him and moves him off his like spot, and like he kind of catches her, but she definitely does like hit the ground pretty hard from what you could tell. And he like helps her up, and they kind of like start to usher themselves away from the crowd because they feel that, you know, they might have lost their chance.
I try to move over to them quickly to stop them from moving away from the perimeter.
Okay,
Please
so
stop.
they like look at this warforged with a gnome on top. Yes.
You look to be hurt. I would like to tend to your wound.
Oh, that's not necessary.
It is necessary. Please stay where you are and do not move.
Okay.
And Cutlass will reach down and pull out his holy symbol of Thoth as he reaches out and cast Heal.
Ooh.
She will instantly regain 70 hit points and be cured of pretty much every ailment you could dream of.
You do again notice that like red flickering kind of like shine and shimmer as you cast this magic into her, but she does seem to be fully healed. Oh, thank you. That was not at all necessary.
You are most welcome. I suggest that you train more for outside obstructions.
Yes, we will. And they kind of like continue to blend in with the crowd, essentially.
So while this is going on, what do the main people look like they're doing?
Cutlass, make either an acrobatics or athletics check.
All right. 15 athletics.
Okay. 1 second. Bombast, you notice that your vision kind of like heightens, and Cutlass, you feel yourself like getting picked up and like placed on the stage as the Minotaur that was with them kind of like looks over to you. Well, that was pretty nice of you there. What's your name? And he like taps.
Designation is Cutlass Thothforged.
Oh, you talk. Interesting.
I'm sentient and aware of my being.
He's programmed to say that.
Ah, I thought you were controlling him. This is him.
I'm programmed to the opposite effect. In fact,
Well, what brings you here?
me and my companions require entry into the city.
Well, I mean, I think I might know somebody.
We also require those two over there, and I point towards Carcel and Bastion.
What are y'all doing, Carcel? And
I think Carcel is just kind of distracted still. Looking. As she hears her name, is like, "Oh, hi."
Yes. Well, I think we're almost done here. If you and your friends wanted to come inside, that would be most agreeable.
Excellent.
Good job, Cutlass. And he's gonna knock on his head.
Ding,
She'll like
ding.
walk over to Cutlass. Like, did we do good?
I did good.
Yeah, you wouldn't have liked what I was gonna do.
Blow up half the crowd. Bodies fly.
Violence was unfortunately also my secondary option.
I was actually thinking about like chucking something in the air and like Eldritch Blast.
So after a while, everyone finishes their display, and you watch as the goblin starts reading off to the tieflings, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one, and they go off and gather those people, and everyone else kind of like moseys off, heading back either towards the marketing area or like any place that's not really here, since they'll have to wait till tomorrow.
If I look back, would I have noticed if they picked out Amelie? The one that I talked to.
Make a.
I would be
We'll go
specifically looking
with
for her.
history check.
A history check.
That face.
So I get advantage to recall information about fae, fiends, or undead. Does tieflings count?
Are tieflings fiends? I mean, for the purpose of this and where she's at, I'll say yes.
Okay. It's not incredibly helpful, but it's still a 14.
Okay.
It's still a lot better than the first roll.
You, a couple of people like usher up because there's a lot of people coming on the stage at the same time, but you do kind of like see like the fabric of her clothes and like her coming up as well behind one of the larger people in front of her.
Okay.
And everyone just starts walking towards the large doors, and they open up again to allow you all safe entry. But the Minotaur like looks at you, Cutlass, up and down. It's just like trying to figure out how you're moving, how you're doing the things that you're doing. You know, I've never
What is
actually...
the criteria by which you choose people?
Uniqueness, rarity, and a couple of other factors. Really depends on the individual, but it's all changes by the day. Depends on what the lords and ladies really want to see.
Once we have entry to the city, are we allowed to freely travel about?
When you're not doing your job, yes, of course.
Job?
Or job?
Oh, yes. Jobs. Either entertainment or, common bus fare. It really depends on what you get picked for.
Only those with purpose may enter the city.
Yes, exactly.
This is acceptable.
Most important thing is to remember to keep your purpose. If you're found to not have one, they usually just send you back out into the wilderness, so it's much safer inside here.
You all are very useful individuals.
Indeed.
You could say that.
No, my group in particular is very useful individuals. I cannot speak for all the other ones that you chose.
Oh, in that case, you can say that. And he like winks and continues on.
Calypso follows.
So they lead you all into like an open foyer area. It's much, imagine that circle that y'all are standing on for a stage magnified by like 3 times or so. It's a very large circular room. And off on like a mounted up podium, there is a man sat there, and then there's people kind of on almost like a jury stand around them. And you see as people like file up and go, and they are just basically telling them what their jobs are going to be. But the line just is formed, and you're waiting.
Then we wait.
Do we want to tell them that we are all good at the same purpose, so that we get assigned the same job?
Or we can tell them that we work better together, maybe? I don't know.
Cooperation amongst coworkers is important for a functional job.
It's true.
But if we all do the same job, that means we won't get to go to this different places. And don't we have to find something?
We do probably want to go statewide, Matt.
That could also be dangerous at the same time, too. To split up. But...
I'm sure we won't have a choice anyway.
See what happens.
Acceptable.
So roll. We'll go D6s.
Just one.
Yeah, I'm trying to see which one of y'all are first in line.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1.
Sweet, Bumbass,
Roll
you bump Cutlass up forward. Are you still on his shoulders? Okay.
Yep.
So the two of y'all walk up, and this kind of like magistrate looking person looks over the podium and like pushes the glasses up on the bridge of their nose. They look to be the race of let me not get it wrong. Almost like a Fearbolg, but they have like two kind of like president horns sticking out that don't seem cow-like. But they look down at you. Yes. What are your skills per se? Either of you.
Well,
I am a.
At one time,
Go ahead,
please.
Bombast.
One or the other.
I'm actually really just good at blowing things up.
Okay. And you?
My faith in Thoth empowers me along many lines of capabilities, healing being the most forefront.
Right.
I am also an arcane scholar of some capability.
Oh! Have you ever worked at a library?
I am not, but I understand its function.
Okay. And you
I would enjoy this job.
Well, I think it would be best to place you in the Arcanum and you in our engineering department.
I agree.
Okay, well, just go through those doors and they'll get you all sorted. Next!
Carcel.
walks up. What
kinda
are
put
you
her-
good at?
I mean, I'm pretty good with a sword. I can also do some minor magical kind of things, and she'll like cast prestidigitation and like clean up the area around him, like tidy up the podium real quick or whatever. And so what else can I do?
You are a gent.
I'll also cast Mage Hand, and I'll take my little ball and like kind of like toss it around to myself with the Mage Hand.
Nice.
You can do nifty things.
Well, there's a couple of usages that you might be good at. For starters, there is the dungeon upkeep. Basically cleaning up the blood and other things from creatures that we come across. Could be viable.
Wait, can that might be lucrative. Okay.
Other than that, we do have the apothecary, which many of our wares do get sold sold to some of the higher patrons here, as well as a few do get sprinkled out to the crowd outside. So you would have rain between here and outside.
Hmm. And I get my choice?
Yes, of course.
Do we actually get paid for these jobs, or is it just the privilege of doing these jobs?
There's a bit unsaid payments. Depends on the individual's needs. But you will get free lodging, free food if you consume food, as well as other benefits.
Okay, if I get my choice, then I'll work at the apothecary. That thing.
Very well. As I told those two before, just head through those doors and we will get you all sorted.
Hey. We'll walk through. Follow them.
Okay. Few moments pass and
What about Baston?
Baston, he is up after you. So he comes in. I got dungeon upkeep.
Oh man,
That seems appropriate.
should save some of the blood.
Ah, yes, if it's viable, I will try to make sure I do that. And Amelie comes through, and you see her, like, get her papers as well. It says that I'll be working at the apothecary?
Me too. Yay.
Oh, good. And then a couple more come through. You see some people are working at the dungeons, others at the marketplace. There is a religious section, but you notice Cutlass, but it seems to be like full presently for some reason.
Probably of the persuasion that I do not want to be part of either. Was anyone else assigned to the Arcanum, though, other than me? Or was I the only one?
There are a couple of strays here and there that you see. But as you all get your papers, they're just like these black sheets of information that have like almost like blood written script on it, but it tells you all the things that you're allowed to do and all the things that you aren't allowed to do. Basically, unless your papers say it, you're not allowed to freely leave and come and go inside the city as you please without permission. Bunch of different rules, just depending.
Are we allowed to travel to Belarus?
So that's the other thing. When you're not actively working, you can surmise vacation time or leave to explore and go to any parts of the different cities that you want to or wish.
Are we supposed to immediately report to our jobs?
Currently, the only thing that they said when you got everything is that you just need to check in with lodging, and your day or shift will start tomorrow for training.
Is lodging all in the same place for everybody?
From what you can tell, all of the individuals that get picked outside all stay in this very large, almost like covered amphitheater of a building off in the distance. But as you go inside, it's like sectioned off and everyone has their own kind of like corridor rooms.
Well, I'll get my lodging set up.
You walk
Yeah.
in, there's a bed, there is a window, and there's like a storage crate. But as you look out the window, it's like enchanted to make it seem like it's looking out at a different part of the city. But you did the math in your head, and based on how many rooms are here, it doesn't make any sense. So it's all probably enchanted.
I appreciate the gesture.
You're in a hollow hole.
I'm gonna do the same. Get my room.
Cutlass, you receive a knock at your door as you are getting associated with the 10 by 15.
I open the door, and whoever's outside will notice that I've turned the bed on its side to maximize the available open space in the room, since I don't require a bed. And I've begun setting up a little altar to Thoth.
As you open it, it is the Minotaur that picked you up outside, standing there. So I am to hear that you are going to be working at the Arcanum?
That is the job that they have selected for me.
Ah, good. I work there as well. Well, when I am not picking up new individuals. Should you have any questions or want a tour around places, just let me know. I am not in this area of the place, but just let me know. And I can arrange for a meeting.
I would like this. I have many questions, and there are things I wish to see.
What is your name, by the way?
My name is Cutlass.
Ah, my name is Caltrap. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Yes. I did not expect to be here, but I am here now, and I will go with the flow, as I have heard.
Well, if there's a flow here, you probably want to avoid it at all costs, but I do understand the sentiment. I will let you get situated, and I will be off. And he kind of like exits out of this amphitheater dormitory stature of a building.
As he leaves, I stick my head out the door.
I look forward to being able to ask many questions and see around the area.
And he kind of wave nods it and keeps going.
Close my door.
Bombast! You notice your room is maybe 20 by 25.
Sweet.
And there seems to be, there's a bed, there's a crate, there's a window, but there's also a chest that kind of has different gear and stuff that you'll probably need for working in the engineering area.
He's gonna open the chest and inspect everything and look at it. Then he's gonna go jump on the bed, see if it's a good one or.
Roll a d6.
1.
You bust right through it.
Well, it's a good thing I'm small. I'll crawl out of the hole and go to the
Just
different side
gnome
of the bed.
feet. It's like reverse Wizard of Oz. There's a gnome that landed on me. Yeah. And then Carcel, when you enter into your chamber, it's a 15 by 15. And there isn't a window, but there is almost like you ever see one of those wall gardens that have different herbs and everything attached to it. It's kind of like that, and there's some semblance of sunlight or some type of radiance shining down on them for it to grow. And the surrounding area seems to be made of some type of wood, or it's not like stone walling.
I'll kind of go look at the plants and like kind of like gently look at them like, I recognize these. They're plants. Yep, that's a plant. Okay.
As you do it to one, it almost like snaps back at you, but like not enough to actually hit you.
Yeah. No. Bad plant.
Try sleeping with that in.
Where is the bed in relation to this?
Opposite side of the room, so.
Good. There. You stay over there. I'll just be over here. Is there like a storage chest as well in here?
Yeah, it's kind of like small wooden storage chest.
I'll take a look in it. What is in there?
It is empty. Free cobwebs if you're into that.
Prestidigitation inside of that. I'm just gonna clean, and then I'll kind of do that to the rest of the room. Kind of just make sure everything's clean. And
as you do that, you notice that the ground changes from like it was still that like wooden kind of thing, but once the prestidigitation magic hits it, it changes it to like a kind of like a marble glaze flooring.
Interesting. So I guess I could surmise that like it was kind of an illusion sort of thing.
That or these rooms don't like work like normal sort of things, like they could be changed.
I'll do it again and see if it changes again.
It changed to like a riverbed, and there's like a river running through your room now. Actual river, not like a blood river, just so we're
Like it's like water?
yeah,
Like literal water?
you can see
Try to,
it,
like,
you can
reach
touch
down
it,
and-
but like if you try and pick it up, it doesn't like, there's no water in your hand, so it's like illusionary.
But can I hear like does it
Yeah, it sounds
make
like
sounds
running
too?
water.
It's gonna be really good until I have to pee.
In this labyrinth of an area, you're like, where's the bathrooms?
Okay, we'll leave it like that for now. I'll do the same thing to the walls and see what happens to the walls.
So you see as it changes and the wood paneling turns into like a forest that looks like it's much deeper in depth than it actually is, which kind of like gives it the optical illusion that your room's bigger than it actually is.
I like that. I'll try to do that to like get all the. Or does that happen with all the walls when I hit like the one?
Yeah, it just.
I'll do that. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Ooh, should look up at the ceiling. And do it to the ceiling as well.
It changes to like a night sky, but devoid of clouds, and like now it has stars and stuff.
I like this. Okay. Then she'll go and like lay on the bed and kind of like
Roll a d6.
4.
Okay, it's like, I mean, it's not the most comfortable bed you ever slept in, but it's also not like
The worst.
the worst.
Okay.
Maybe Bumbass can go to Cutlass's room and be like, do you have a spare bed?
Well, yes, I do.
Well, I assume they're like made for humans or human size, so I'm just gonna sleep on the other part of the bed.
Oh yeah, this is true. There's just like gnome feet holders at the far end. So after you all kind of get associated with everything, you notice that the amphitheater side of this kind of dormitory-esque portion of the city, in the center of it, there's like a bunch of different downcast stairs that open up to a large amphitheater at the bottom of it, so that if entertainment were happening, y'all would have a way to come here, relax, and watch a show or something, and then go back to your rooms and not have to worry about traversing through any part of the city.
Well, I will attempt to find the rest of my companions. Assuming that they are coming down
Ever
at all.
come out of their rooms?
I just walk down the stairs, and then I just turn and I just look up the stairs and I just wait like that.
So Baston comes down and he like looks at you, and then he like looks up the stairs, and then he looks back at you. Have
Hello,
they
Bastion.
not come down yet?
No.
Marcel will inevitably get bored and go try to explore.
They probably require more creature comforts in their rooms, which take longer to develop.
Perhaps? I was under the impression that the rooms were rather small.
I suppose compared to this room, they are in fact small.
Then Carcel comes around the bend.
Oh, hey guys.
Hello.
Have you
Did
seen
you
Bombast?
like your accommodations?
Oh yeah, it's pretty nice. I was like trying to clean up the room, and then like the walls changed and the floor changed, and so now it looks like, you know, I'm like sleeping on the side of a river in a forest with the night sky above me. It's really nice. There's also a bunch of plants in my room. One of them was very kind of upset and tried to eat me. I didn't like that, but other than that, yeah, it's nice.
Interesting.
How's y'all's rooms?
Plain and unadorned.
Similar, yes.
Have you seen Bondast?
I was
Starts
expecting
looking
him to
around.
be on your shoulders.
Like there's a bench next to her. She kind of picks it up and like, nope, I haven't.
We separated for our accommodations.
We should probably figure out where each of us are staying. For
And
convenience.
Carcel will kind of give directions, kind of in a scrambled way. It's just kind of how our brain works.
Yeah, you make two rights, a left, go straight, make another left, come back, and then you go straight and go right, and then there it is.
If you've reached a little gargoyle statue that's looking at you like you have something in your teeth, you've gone too far. Come back at least 4 doors, and then it's on the left. Yeah.
I understand.
Oh no.
This is how you get to my room.
Very simple, clean instructions on how to get there.
That seems pretty easy.
Should we go search for Bondast?
I don't even know how to start looking for him. Do we just knock on every door we see? Like,
That is what I was planning to do.
Is there a receptionist we can ask? Maybe I don't know. Is there like the
Is there, like, an
person that we
RA?
got set up with our rooms at first? Can we just go to them and like ask?
We'll find the RA.
The RA. So the tieflings would have split off and like shown you your rooms. But after that, they kind of like headed out of the kind of area.
I don't know. Knocking door to door. This seems like a really big place, and there's probably a lot of people. I don't know. That doesn't appeal to me.
You want to wait here while I knock on doors?
The painstaking. Y'all ever had the mouse through the maze screensaver way back when like screensavers were first a thing? And it just keeps making rights until it gets out. Yeah. I feel like it's that.
Well, and she's gonna look over to where like that like entertainment thing you said was. I'll be down there. Not being bored.
Understood. I will begin searching for bombast.
It's only bored if you don't like to make friends. I met 367 people.
It's like 5
None of
hours
them were
later.
bombast.
It's like the morning, and you're like, I finally found him. Of course, by that point, like he would have knocked on the door, and Bombast would have just been sleeping, and would have never answered, so he probably wouldn't have found him in the first place.
So Cutlass, you can make a D100 roll.
Oh yeah, let's do it. D100. 92.
Nice. We're gonna be here for a minute. Okay. So, Carcel, you make it back to the kind of that commune area. You do see Amelie. She is reading like a small book. And then there's some other familiar faces, and then most of the other people are like new that you don't know, but probably have been here for a bit.
Go sit down next to Amelie. Hi.
Hello. Did you find your room? Nice.
I did. It was pretty nice. It wasn't as nice at first, like, and one of the plants tried to eat me.
Oh, they do that sometimes.
Yeah, but I didn't like that too much, but I got away from it. It's fine. But then I tried to like clean up the walls, and they changed. I was able to like make my walls look like a forest.
Oh, yes, that is prestidigitation magic. It works slightly differently in this area. I've heard, at least.
Yeah, it was really cool. So now I'm staying in a forest. Sort of.
A
At least
forest?
it feels like. Yeah.
Wh-
I mean, my walls look like a forest, and there's a river like running through my room. There's the night sky above me.
what do those look like exactly?
Well, it looks like a forest. And there's just trees and stuff. And it kind of looks bigger than. Is that not normal?
For here, not so much. No.
Would you like to see?
Sure.
She'll like take her hand and like lead her up to where her room is, trying to remember her own direction. And then she finds that judgy gargoyle statue. She's like, remember you. And then she'll turn back like 4 doors. Here it is. And go in. See?
Oh, wow. I've never seen anything like this before. Did you think of this yourself?
I mean, I just started cleaning the walls, and I started on the floor, and it changed. It started off as like a wood floor, and then it changed to like a marble floor, and then I did it again just because I was curious, and it went through some different things. And then there was a river, and I was like, "Ooh, that's kind of nice." At least until I have to pee, and then it might not be so nice. But that's beside the point. And then I started doing it to the walls, and landed on this foresty thing, and then I did the ceiling, and then there was some stars, and I was like, "Ooh, that's nice." Sorry, I'm kind of rambling.
Oh no, it's fine. It's just I think most of the people that you'll meet here haven't really seen or been around anything like this. Which could be very interesting on the backside of things.
Would you like me to see if I can do this to your room?
Sure. We can try it.
Okay.
And she leads you in a much more, no nonsense kind of, she already knows where she is in this labyrinth of a maze, and just left, right, straight. There's no like backtracking, and she gets there, opens the door. And you see it's like just how it was. She has the same size room as you, but it's just like the basic bare bonesy type.
Okay. I'll go in and like press to digitize the walls.
This time they turn into kind of a sort of see-through ice cavern-y type look.
Ooh, what do you think of that?
Well, that's really pretty.
Is that another one that like no one else does?
Oh yes, I've never seen that before.
Huh. That's cool. Do you want something different? We can go through some options.
Roll a roll a D100.
Okay. 27.
Okay. 21/7 room changes later. You kind of like settle on just a it's kind of simple, but it's almost like farmland sort of scenery. There seems to be like fields of different things growing, and you can see it like magically changing the height and shape of the stuff every so often. But it's just like simple, neat, nice, from what you can tell, very farm life-ish, but also a bit of like greenhousery as well.
Oh, I see. Is this the one you like?
Yes, this one's very enjoyable.
Is there any particular reason? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I've never seen anything like this before, and out of the large list of the ones that you showed me, this is probably the one I think I would enjoy having around the most. Although the second, when we were underwater and there was the fish, you call them fish, right?
Yes.
That would probably have been my second favorite.
Yeah, that one was kind of nice. I didn't see that one in my own room. I might do that one of these.
It like
to play with fish,
compounds.
too, so.
It compounds the pee fear.
It's just the running water sound that is really the worst part of that one. Well, thank you for letting me play with your walls.
Yes, anytime.
You know where I'm staying now. I
Yes.
probably won't be able to find this again. In fact, I
Oh,
don't
here,
know
and
if I'll
she
be
like
able to find my way.
writes down on a piece of parchment. From my room to yours, it's this many lefts, this many rights, in this order, and just reverse it if you want to come back.
Okay. That's not difficult at all. It was nice chatting with you again. I hope you have a lovely night.
You as well. I will see you bright and early in the morning.
Yes. To figure out where we're going, but I'm sure I might just come find you in the morning because I don't know where I'm going, and you seem to have a good lay of the land, so.
Yes, my mind kind of does that on its own, but yes, we can go together.
Okay. Good night.
Night.
And she'll leave and head back off towards her room, like, okay, left, no, other left, okay,
And if you
Eventually
manage to
make it back.
follow the directions, it does lead you back to your room.
I'll open up my door. Home sweet home. There's the, oh crap. I now have to pee.
Oh no.
She'll head back and try to find a bathroom.
Okay. And Bombast, you hear a knock at your door.
See, by this time, I've gotten all the bedding together and created a bombast cocoon. Because it sounded like a good time to sleep. And I don't hear it.
Cutlass, this is about the 12th door that you've knocked at that hasn't gotten a response. And given it the once over, nothing really stands out about it for you to stay, so you just like move on to the next.
Yeah, just continue on. Make new friends.
Most of them are angry for some reason. Don't know why.
They're coming to the door like, hello?
Do you know what time it is? I
You're
have
not
work
Bombast.
in 3 hours.
Good night.
So as the night continues and Cutlass is making friends the old-fashioned way, that is where
Friends are
we're gonna
enemies.
end it. We will begin the new campaign of what did I call it? Is it Pact of the Forsaken?
I believe
so.
so.
We will begin Pack of the Forsaken, I guess 2 Saturdays from now. I'll have to look at the calendar. And go from there. But good conclusion into... I feel like none of it's connected. Like, I'm going to watch season 2 and be like, how did they get from here to here?
The 12th of March.
In 14 episodes. 12th of March. Okay.
There you go.
So you got there because of players.
Pretty much. This is why I don't
Wacky
plan things
teleport
anymore.
spells.
This is why I don't plan. But we will catch you all on the flippity flip side. And I'm trying to figure out. I don't think we have anything else until next year. Next year. Oh gosh. Next month. But be sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. And as we prepare to raid, we will say goodbye. See you later. Have a
Bye.
stars in the chat. Purple Tina's in the chat. Everybody's in the chat. I love it. I love it so much. Bye-bye now. See you later.